Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Doing a Vectrex one here because when I did my video response to Wee Bob, I showed some of the footage of Hyper Chase, which is a really good racing game on the Vectrex that I love. Love it so much I've actually got it complete in box here, the original game. That one's fantastic. Really like it. They also came out back in the day with this, Pole Position, and I don't love it. I've tried to warm to it. It's not really doing it for me. So I thought, okay, well, let's give it a fair shake. I've shown it in a few videos. For example, I'm going to be trying it in a minute here with the overdrive steering controller. But right now, let's just use the sort of standard stock controller here. All right, knock stuff over. Because, yeah, I've shown this being used for other controller schemes, but I've never actually just sat down and tried playing this. So let's give it a whirl, but I don't think I'm going to like it very much. Now, I want to prepare to qualify. Yeah, I don't like the position of first and second gear and stuff, but anyway. And we're off. And then switch to second gear. Oh, there we go. Now I'm in second gear. And away we go. And I've already blown. Down first gear. I don't know what it is. I really like Pole Position, the game. I'm going to love the arcade original. I even got a little plug and play that you can use to play arcade Pole Position on it. And you would think, me being a big both Atari and Namco guy, and Pole Position was released by both companies. Never quite understood the story there, but anyway. You would think, oh yeah, I must be a big Pole Position fan. And I have nostalgic memories of Pole Position. But I just don't like the Vectrex version. It seems kind of clunky and pedantic. Now, it is very... it's also very challenging. It's very good for what it's doing. I completely across the border. Yay, did I qualify? Hang on. Game over. I didn't even qualify. Oh well. Yeah, it's what it's pulling off, what it's achieving is really impressive, but I don't like it that much. All right, let's do it again. Let's give it a proper shake here. Prepare to qualify. And where do I get the gas? There we go. All right. Away we go, and second gear. Okay, here we go. This guy's what always gets me. I think it's because it's a little too slow. Now this is very much in keeping with the arcade original as far as what you're supposed to be doing. But I find it's just a little chunky and not fun. Not what I want to play, not what I reach for. Compared to Hyper Chase, which is a much more fast-paced, exciting type of a game, this one's just kind of meh. It's just there. Ooh. Okay, we qualified this time. See, I'm paying attention now. Good driving. Well, thank you. All right, here we go. Go! Second gear. I think it's the gear shift. Like on the standard controller, and we're going to compare it with the overdrive in a second. Whoa! The gear shift is a little awkward to reach for with the standard Vectrex controller, so I don't like that. Oh no! Ah! Is it growing on me yet? Woo! I guess that was an oil slick or a rock or something. Move across. In the original arcade machine, that would have been an oil slick, so I'm assuming that's what it is here. Do I like it yet? It's alright. Now, I mean, compared to Hyper Chase, which feels like a racing game, of kind of like Atari Enduro for the 2600, it's like that's what Hyper Chase is. You know, get going as fast as you can. This is, you know, work your way through the pack, and it's in keeping with the arcade machine, so can't fault it for that. but I'm not really liking it. And I feel bad about that because this is one of the games people talk about on the Vectrex as a must-play or you must-have or whatever. Whoa! Maybe, again, because of what it achieves on a vector display. Now, I've never been a huge fan of turning raster games into vector games. There's quite a few that have done that on the Vectrex that I'm just... No. Leave vector in its own glorious, magical world. And raster can stay on standard CRT tubes. But having said that, oh, darn it, I really enjoyed Vector Patrol, which is a Vectrex version of Moon Patrol. So why is that one okay? I just don't know. Well, I did okay there. In fact, I did more than okay. 50,000. Whew. So that's me doing really well at pole position. Game over. Okay. Yeah. You know, that's the thing. Pole Position 1 is weird in that it's like one track. If you've ever played it in the arcade, and that little plug and play that I've got, I'll do a video about it someday. But I was really quite surprised when I was like, okay, that's the end of the first track. And I was like, yep, game over. What? Yeah, original Pole Position, one track. And that seems a bit of a missed opportunity. However, give me a second. I'm going to plug in the overdrive controller and see what that's like. Okay, now with overdrive hooked up, let's try this out. And because the buttons are a little closer, I think we might have more luck. This is up and down shift. I think that's my real problem with the other controller. Up and down shift is just not that much fun. But with this, I think we might have a winner here. So, let's get ourselves going. See if I can do better here. All right. See, this one's got nice little steering capability. Takes a bit to get used to because there's more of a swing of the steering wheel. However, I do like this controller, especially on Hyper Chase. This one you really have to spin the wheel a lot. Probably like a car without power steering. And it does lend itself to the experience. I feel like I'm more in a driving game now. That was not a good idea. Definitely prefer how I can switch gears now with this. But again, I think it's an all-right experience. It's not something I love. And I am aware that it is, first of all, a classic arcade game. Alright, well, we'll give that another try. It's a classic arcade game. It's a game people love. It's well respected on the Vectrex. So much so, I actually got this sort of overlay. This was a reproduction, and it's a darn good one. It's very, very solid. It's also kind of handy to find out what the different gears and controls are. Anyway, okay, here we go. Let's do it again. See if I can concentrate and do better like I did that second time with the other controller. Go! Let's just keep ourselves in here. What? Oh, jeez. Okay, gear down. Oh, stay on the road. I mean, it's challenging, but it's not really fun. It's not a fun racing game. This version, I mean, Pole Position in general is a fun racing game, but this version, just not really liking it. Oh, I did put... okay, at least I qualified this time. Thank you for the compliment. Good driving. Okay, here we go. And we're off. Ooh. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, I guess I'm not in the pack anymore. That's an advantage. Okay, let's catch up. Oh, come on. Again, very impressive what it's pulling off for the Vectrex. Kudos to the programming. Love that, but I'm just not... I don't play this very often because it's not a fun racing game. Am I alone in this? Does everybody else think this is awesome and I'm crazy? I mean, that's certainly arguable, but like, is... And I mean, honestly, those oil slicks don't even do anything. Like, at least in the arcade game, they kind of give you less control of the road, so that's it. Well, then, like half the score. Okay, so with the overdrive, it's actually, it feels more intuitive, yet it's a lot looser and harder to control. I was even going to hook up the Mini-Vex pedal, which I got, but I think that's not really going to help me, because in this one particular game's case, you've got the issue of you've got to shift up and down and use the gas, and so this is very handy for like holding the controller and then just keep your finger on that, your other hand steer, and then just sort of slide around, do the up and down gear shift. So having the Mini-Vex pedal won't really help me too much in that it just replaces these. I suppose I could use it for gear shift, because of Mini-Vex you can modify, but honestly, I don't think those are just going to put a little more flourish on a game that I honestly don't think is all that good. So I apologize to the Vectrex community. I'd love to love this, but I don't. So, and it's not the only one. Maybe I'll talk about some of the other games that are classic Vectrex titles, original releases, that I honestly don't think are all that great. However, until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.